The older I get, the more I realize great is the mystery of godliness. Why isn't God brooding over our stained glass windows in America this morning? Why isn't he brooding on our super multi-million-dollar TV and radio programs with all the flash and show they have? The greatest areas where God is breathing this morning is amongst people that are in poverty and in need. The Africa in the revival in Nagaland, which is northeast India. I read a report a brother sent recently. He went expecting a Philip-like revival. We think we're going to make a carbon copy and say, Lord, double it that way. Now, don't rock the boat. In the 11th of July, in the Wall Street Journal, which I'm sure many of you take because of your interest, investments, that in the Wall Street Journal for the 11th of July, it says, I was going to bring the document and I forgot it, but it says there, an evangelical revival is moving over America just now, but it's having little effect. That's like saying there was an earthquake from California to New York last night, 8.6 on the Richter scale, but nobody felt it. You talk about the fullness of God. What Paul did, right after he was born again, after that miracle happened on the Damascus Road. I'm glad one man stayed to listen what God had to say that morning. He didn't just pray. He listened, and God said, Ananias, get up and go to the street, go straight, and that's the house. Isn't it great to know that God knows your name and address? Postman may forget it, but God knows it. And he goes down and says to him, Brother Saul. That must have startled him. I mean, he was going to kill that man. And he goes and says, Brother Saul, the Lord hath appeared unto thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister. And only God can make you a minister. Nobody else can do that. They may teach you a few things in Bible school, but they never make you a preacher. The Lord hath appeared to thee. And then he disappears. He goes into the wilderness. God revealed himself in him. I hope you understand my language here. I believe in that period of 3.5 years that Paul became spiritually pregnant. I believe the Spirit of God birthed all these epistles which afterwards he would give birth to. I believe he birthed all those churches because he writes afterwards, doesn't he, to the Galatians, and he says, little children, for whom I travail in birth. You talk about out of him shall flow rivers of living water. 14 epistles if you give him Hebrews, and I think he wrote Hebrews as well. 14 matchless epistles.